Alright, I'm back. So, yep, just looked it up. Mods have to be disabled for the first run. That was... oh boy. I mean, that wasn't even unexpected. Just crashed. But now I'm feeling antsy. Like, I think I'm gonna speed run this. Wait. I turned off the mods. Alright. You know what? No. We close it out. And then we reopen it. What a fascinating. Alright. There we go. This is, yeah. All the mods are gone. Alright. I'm feeling antsy. I'm gonna do 2 more runs before going to sleep, but I am gonna speedrun. I mean, speedrunning is speedrunning as this can get. This is just the base game, but it's part of the journey, part of the process. So I'm gonna include it. Yeah, I'm gonna donate as much money as I can manage, and pretty much try to go as fast as I can. Getting an item from the item would be great. No reason to go into our shop. But honestly, it's going to be the devil rooms that do the most for us. So, yeah, that's really the first thing that I'm going to be looking for. Strength lets me get an extra deal with a devil. Use it essentially when I'm at no hearts. I gotta grab a deal that would kill me, and then I can use strength and, get a 1 heart deal for 2 hearts. This is a very long first floor. I didn't even get Curse of the Maze. Alright. Let's try to path in a way that's a little bit faster here. Could be a Tears Up. If it wasn't, Lemon Party would have been strong though. Yeah, no. I mean, strength's not going to be relevant for the deal with the devil, right? So, I should just use it now. Go a little faster. Maybe I get a planetarium. Oh wait, no, I don't have planetariums unlocked. So I really shouldn't skip an item room, but I shouldn't skip it. Stye's good. So Stye is helpful. Pretty much only interested in things that help go faster. Should use those mulligans. I think the scapular is nice. Do I have any way to hurt myself for just half a heart? If I get a host in one of those, it would work. Yeah, you know what? Okay, sweet, thank you. Okay, this is gonna be the way to do it. so this way. Oh, Bible? Okay. Yeah, no, that's good enough. That is good enough. And we can go ahead and Bible here. Open that. I can skip the shop. I have not enough money for... Not enough money. Could get all the poops and maybe get enough money, but... That was a worthy amount of time to spend on the self-sacrifice room. The Bible is actually non-trivial for speed running, because it saves you an entire fight against one. Yeah, so I'm gonna skip the large room if I have to. You. I feel like that Gray took a lot more hits than we could expect. They have half health. Okay, I'm at 13 since there's... Oh my god. Okay, I need to... Okay. This room was actually quite stressful. Crybaby is cool. And Soul Heart would be nice, but Snoop Sale is just good. I might go back to the boss trap. Oh, curse room. Okay, I'm not like full on speed running if that wasn't obvious. Don't get hit. I just don't want to lose my deal. Cool. And by that Soul Heart now too, so let's just hurt myself on the curse room. Boss trap, maybe. Meh. Okay, High Priestess will be good for the next boss. This Bible here, because good. I mean, it's really not gonna matter. It's maybe a little bit of a suspicious Bible, but I felt like using it besides the occasional utility. Oh, actually, it's gonna have smidge of utility here. Because I don't have to worry about the creep. See, I knew that the Gurglings were coming up next. I actually think I should have known that the Gurglings were coming up next. Alright. So I took the 8-ball because now I have an incentive to go into every item room. Because when you first start a game of Isaac, you have the highest chances of getting Planetarium, and it's so much harder to get Planetariums to unlock until then, because you haven't moved the pool as much. Plus I'm going to put Fiend Folio mods, and it's going to make it harder. So, yeah, I should have... Yeah, that was the incorrect direction to push that bomb. Anyway, so still trying to go fast, but I'm going to go fast while exploring for all of my treasure clips, because nice. Those are potentially going to unlock planetariums for me. So, this will be the second last run for tonight. I'm going to do the daily recording tonight, but I will skip the, I won't post that one yet. Since that one needs, since I wanted to, oh wait, did I mention that in the last video? Basically, I don't want to post the daily until the day's passed. I feel like that's polite. So, maybe, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's the polite thing to do. So, that way there's just no, potential using the daily to get top ranger scores or anything. Monsters too. How did I... What? Awesome and awesome. And we unlocked Lazarus as well, so that is neat. Take purple heart. Okay. Yeah, so every treasure room for planetariums, and that sums it up. Okay, so otherwise, yeah, I think I'll look up what, actually probably could use my black cards to clear a little faster here. Or, Dry Baby can do it for me. Thanks, Dry Baby. Mysterious Liquid. Awesome. That's fine. I'm not gonna go through that for just one penny. It's mainly about the time. And so, hopefully I don't get bad luck and get greed on the last floor, but I'd like to save my money and donate it all from the last floor, because it's not like the money matters against Mom, because even though I have money equals power, I don't need it for marker in the Bible. Alright, let's use some of our bombs here. So there we go, and get you out of here. Get another bomb. And then let's go. Alright, we are speeding it up. Got ourselves a nice meat. Can take both of these. Awesome. Now we can avoid hearts for the next couple of floors and unlock Eve. Alright. Oh, I could use the Bible, but whatever, I don't care. It's all the same thing. But yeah, I did that because I went on to this first room. And that's a part Guppy, which also is just absurdly easy to get when you're first starting the game. But yeah. Oh, right. One of the things I like about Fiend Folio as well is like all the new characters they added. To be honest, Golem is the one I was the least interested in. Fiend is pretty fun. Still trying to get the hang of the fireballs. Golem is... he just feels so slow, so like, it's just not that opportunity to like you can, obviously you have to go fast with it, in order to get certain unlocks, of course. God dang. Alright, let's just, excuse me, but, no, the joke challenge characters, I guess, is what they called. Like, I feel like with some tuning they could be real characters, if that makes sense. Like, because innately, like, China's pretty interesting in terms of being a character that you can take basically a maximal number of hits on per run. And then of course, you have a few ways you can kind of circumvent it with horse push pops, blue sticks, or whatever, which, I think it's good that those exist. I think that not having to touch walls is another interesting mechanic as well. Like, I do think that that's interesting, because, like, in part, right, the reason I think that China is, like, so interesting as a character is because, one, has a limited amount of hits per... has an interesting, a limited number of hits per run, essentially, which technically you can say Tainted Lost is that. Because in the same regard, you can take a limited number of hits as Tainted Lost per run, which is limited by, essentially you can take one hit, and then you can restore that one hit. So it's kind of, right? The thing is, like, I guess China's feels a little bit different in that it's like, Tainted Lost still feels like the Lost, where it's like, except for some occasional things, right? There's a maximal amount of hits you can take, per run, per room, whatever, right? Which that number is 2. I mean, not like, one hit and then the other hit you die, right? Of course, there's ways you can stack an extra holy card, you can get an extra holy card slot, you can, there's ways around it, of course, and, I think it's valid to count them, but, those are, they are unlocks, I guess. That makes it, like, they're linked behind items, they're synergies, right? Whereas with, like, China, right, there's, like, that upper limit of the number of hits you can take, which is, like, it's different from Lost in that sense, right? Because, the maximum amount of hits you can take in every room depends by how many hits you've taken in the total run. And you can't influence it by that much. So basically, yes, it is kind of similar to Tainted Lost in some ways, like mechanically. But obviously, one thing, China not having flight is a pretty big distinguishing feature. It does have to, it does get deals with Devil for free, so that's not as distinguishing, of course. But, I think that there's still some interesting things there that can be done with the character. Plus, I also do like, so one of the things that I think is pretty cool when, done with, like, base characters is if they encourage something that kind of, in essence, links to playing the game better, right? Like, Isaac is good because, it encourages you to be, when you have the D6 and everything, right? It encourages you to be very resourceful, right? And to kind of, like, have good knowledge of the game in order to get good builds. And in fact, Tainted Isaac kind of, like, puts that even higher. So I think that's great. Eve and even Tainted Eve, right, encourage you to stay at low health, right? Which seems like a bad idea, but it's like, it encourages you to have that play style of have low health, get advantages from items that, function off of being at low health, right? And so that is I think that that's also an interesting thing that it teaches you. Of course, that's somewhat more limited in scope, right? Tainted Keeper teaches you, like, the importance, and Keeper, so it teaches you the importance of, like, getting close to enemies, kind of, like, maintaining that, right? So, like, there's all kind of, like, lessons that extend to other characters that, characters will teach you, right? And I think that's, that's a really good thing. And I think China does that too. And actually, I think the frog does that as well. You know, both teach you something. Fiend, I'm still not sure about that. Golem doesn't really feel like it teaches much. I don't find whatever. But you know, that's just my 2 cents on that. So of course, what was I gonna say? Is like the thing that China teaches you. I mean, like, the maximal number of hits per run is, you know, something, right? It's not huge. It's not really a huge lesson. Oh yeah, obviously, the Lost teaches you to not get hit, right? So, obviously, there's a lesson there. But, you know, with China, right, it teaches you how to, like, navigate rooms without getting caught on objects, which is actually really important on all characters. You know, I'd say that that's one of the leading forms of times I take damage is when I actually, like, trying to get through and, like, you know, I'm trying to go down, I'm getting stuck, or, like, I'm getting stuck on the door or something. And I think that that's actually a helpful lesson to kind of, like, get from, like, playing China is, like, yeah, I need to kind of try to not, you know, touch the edges of the map, and like having a character that essentially punishes you for doing that, you know, it forces you to have to learn that. So it kind of teaches you to play the game better. Now, while I don't think the frog in its current form is necessarily perfect in the lesson it teaches, I do think it does teach a good lesson, which is, I do think it teaches a good lesson. That lesson being, you know, not moving is the exception in this game. And so by that I mean, oh sweet, I can actually, so the thing about the frog, right, is that they always move, right? So, that's sort of the, that's the thing you have to kind of get used to, is you're always, like, kind of moving in circles, moving back and forth, right? I think that, like, in that way, it does need to be a little rehashed, because I think essentially, like, that's the lesson I feel like the frog teaches you, but dang it. But I don't think it necessarily teaches you, like, great moving patterns. I think you're always moving like this. This is the frog, unless you're using the active item to stay still. And I don't think circles are necessarily the best way to always be moving. Maybe it is? I don't know. Maybe that is the lesson. I'll have to experiment with that a bit, I suppose. But the point is, like, I do think that in general, being in motion in Isaac is usually a good thing. So, sure, why not? I'll take Blood Oath. Gives me an excuse to avoid Blood Oath in the future. So, yeah, I think ironically, both of the challenge characters teach better lessons than, like, the mainline ones. I don't know, maybe Golem and Fiend teach some good overall character behaviors as well. Or, you know, Isaac play behaviors. But, you know, I think that that's a cool thing. Plus, I don't know, I love the gauntlet as well. Because it's like that perfect opportunity to actually just, like, practice against the Fiend Folio bosses, which, like, are pretty agreed to be very difficult bosses. It's like, there's literally a mode that lets you practice against them, which I think is pretty cool. You don't have to, like, load into debug mode or something like that. You can just play that challenge until you clear it. I also think the Goblin's pretty cool in, like, all of the different item combinations you can try to use to clear. I actually think Demon Baby is one of the better starts. Which, by the way, is another reason why, like, the lesson from Keeper is important, right? Because Demon Baby is one of those entities that matters, being closer to the enemy. Okay, so just kind of supporting that idea. I'm looking for my shop. This is nice, okay. I was gonna say, I was feeling like a way to fight Mom, but I was What's wrong? Okay. Wait, no, I already have Mysterious Liquid. I have Poison. Okay, what do we got? I don't want either of these, so you can just have my money. Take my money. Okay, I guess I will. I will take these. I think that makes more sense. It's definitely much faster than my last run, but still quite slow. Interestingly, I think just kind of getting back into talking continuously while playing. It's a skill.
Isaac was cornered.
But
his mother,
yeah,
fueled with the
that's
desire
it.
to serve her God,
Sure, why
was
not? Let's
bearing
watch the
down on Isaac. I will do as I'm told, my lord. I love you above all else, Isaac's mother repeated to herself. This was the end of the line for Isaac. His mother was far too strong for him. But just as he accepted his fate, God intervened, sending an angel down from above to stop his mother's hand. And just like that, it was over.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Alright. That is the one. So now we just unlocked a ton of challenges. Oh my god. Alright. And thanks for watching.